What I'm about to reveal will change the entire Call of Duty franchise forever. Call of Duty will reboot their entire franchise in 2028. And I didn't believe it myself, but there is too much evidence and too many coincidences for a 2028 reboot of Call of Duty not to be true. First, I have to explain how I discovered this. If you have watched any of my videos before, you will know I am a Call of Duty nerd. So I was trying to list out and detail the next few years of Call of Duty games. And as I did, I realized that Call of Duty is ending the entire franchise in 2027. But when I dove even deeper in, I discovered there is a plan in motion to change Call of Duty forever. The next few years of Call of Duty games are already in development, but there is something odd about the next few years of games. Typically, we know what Call of Duty games are on the way 3 to 4 years in advance. And usually, these games tie into previous Call of Duty games, building on the established plot and characters. Still, it seems that Call of Duty is ending their storylines and series they have had running for years, like Black Ops and Modern Warfare. But let's dive into it for a second. This year's title, Black Ops 6, had a campaign with an ending that set up Black Ops 6 to have a sequel, seemingly.
Harrow may be gone, but not the Pantheon. I need you back in Avalon.
However, as we learned from the Black Ops 6 seasonal story, Call of Duty is wrapping up the storyline of Black Ops 6 at the end of its year of support.
Hudson came through from the afterlife. We got a list of every agent Pantheon's ever planted inside the CIA. We can finally cut out the cancer, clear our names.
Now let's look at this upcoming year's release. Black Ops 7 is going to be an interesting narrative story, but it exists in a bubble because within the Black Ops timeline, it can't affect the story that comes after, which is Black Ops 4, and it builds on the story from its predecessor, Black Ops 2. But the game is being told within a narrative bubble, which brings up a bigger point we'll talk about in a minute. In 2026, we'll be getting Modern Warfare 4, which has been leaked by multiple sources to be the last game in the new rebooted Modern Warfare story, meaning the Modern Warfare series is ending. Then we look at Call of Duty 2027, which is interesting because we don't have a name for the game yet, but we do know it's codenamed Zulu, and Call of Duty 2027 has been confirmed to be a separate individual story from the Modern Warfare and Black Ops series. Likely a continuation of Advanced Warfare, being Advanced Warfare 2, but we don't know yet. And now that bigger point I mentioned earlier, Call of Duty has created the one universal timeline that encompasses the entire Black Ops series, the new rebooted Modern Warfare games, as well as some other games like Call of Duty Vanguard, World at War, and Infinite Warfare. But within this new combined timeline, every decade of warfare from 1940 to 2065 has been covered. Call of Duty has quite literally packed every moment of warfare into 120 years that they could, but there is no space for new games to fit into this timeline without overwriting or counteracting other games within this timeline. And it's funny because I remember back to Black Ops 3, we were literally making memes about Black Ops 7 in 2015. There is a serious player fatigue with the same series in Call of Duty releasing another game in the series over and over and over again. Fans have been well spoken in saying they want a new Call of Duty that isn't Black Ops or Modern Warfare. So narratively and socially, Call of Duty just needs a refresh. But we don't know what Call of Duty 2028 is, and we're 2.5 years away. We should know at least something about it by now. But that's because of Microsoft and 2028 being such an important year for Call of Duty. So let's go back in time just a little bit. Right around the time Modern Warfare 3 was releasing in 2023, Activision Blizzard, the company who makes Call of Duty, was bought out by Microsoft. This was, and still kinda is, huge news for the Call of Duty franchise because no one is really sure what this means for Call of Duty, but we do know that Microsoft is trying to make Xbox and Xbox games bigger and reach a larger audience. But Call of Duty has a unique problem that Microsoft has to work around. Call of Duty games, unlike any other series in the world, are developed 3 to 4 years in advance because of the yearly cycle. And we know that Microsoft doesn't want to tamper with Call of Duty's yearly formula too much right now because it works. It brings in money every single year. But when Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard in 2023, the next 4 years of games were already in development. Black Ops 6 was prepping for release in 2024. Black Ops 7 was planned for 2025. Modern Warfare 4 was planned for 2026. And we knew well back in 2023 that Sledgehammer Games was working on a game for 2027. So Microsoft really didn't want to tamper with the development and planning of any of these games. But 2028 will be the first Call of Duty developed under the management of Microsoft, which may be a reason why we haven't heard anything about it yet, because everyone's looking to Call of Duty for information, and we should be looking to Microsoft. And Microsoft is really good at keeping secrets. But Microsoft has shown in the past that they like rebooting and resetting popular franchises when they buy their respective studios. Look at Halo's 20th anniversary, which saw Microsoft really going all out to push remastered Halo 2. Gears of War is releasing Gears of War Emergency on the 25th anniversary of the first Gears of War game. Fable's 20th anniversary saw Microsoft revealing a reboot of the series is on the way. This matters a lot because, well, 2028 is also Call of Duty's 25th anniversary, and Microsoft is seeking to expand their gaming empire in the next couple of years by releasing handheld consoles, a new Xbox, and pushing their more popular games towards bigger success, like Call of Duty. When you put it all together, though, it paints an interesting picture. Call of Duty is ending the storylines of many of their long-running series like Black Ops and Modern Warfare. And on top of that, creating new stories within the combined universe is next to impossible, as they have thoroughly covered every decade of warfare between the 1940s and the 2060s. On top of that, all of their stories are ending. Call of Duty 2027 is interestingly codenamed Zulu, which will be the 26th main title Call of Duty game to release since 2003. And Zulu is the 26th and last letter of the NATO phonetic alphabet.
Coincidence? I think not!
And with all of this together, we will be celebrating Call of Duty's 25th anniversary, the same year the first Call of Duty game managed by Microsoft releases, and we know from numerous examples that Microsoft makes a huge deal about anniversaries of popular video games they own by rebooting or resetting those same video game franchises on important anniversary milestones for the game. And when you put it all together, this all lines up so well that it just makes sense that Call of Duty would reboot the series. Call of Duty is ending their storylines before 2028. They're prepping for Microsoft to take control of the Call of Duty franchise in 2028. Their 25th anniversary is in 2028. Between Call of Duty ending all of their storylines, Call of Duty 2027 being codenamed Zulu, Microsoft taking over control of Call of Duty in 2028, the 25th anniversary of Call of Duty in 2028, and the need for a refresh by fans, it all lines up too well, and it just makes sense that Call of Duty would reboot the entire series. And mark my words, Call of Duty is going to reboot the entire franchise in 2028.